So in this video, I am going over the Chapter 1 test review. The first question is asking me if the relation below is a function, and then it gives me a bunch of values. I first want to check to make sure none of my x values repeat. Here, -2 repeats, and my y values are different, so this is not a function. Those need to be exactly the same, or all of my x values need to be different. My next question wants me to find the inverse given f of x equals 2x plus 7 divided by 4. So I want to go ahead and rewrite this as y equals 2x plus 7 divided by 4. I want to go ahead and switch my x and y values. So I'm going to get x equals 2y plus 7 divided by 4. And then I want to go ahead and start isolating my variable. So I want to first start off by multiplying both sides by 4. This is going to give me 4x on the left and 2y plus 7 on the right. Then I want to go ahead and subtract 7 from both sides. I get 4x minus 7 equals 2y. I want to go ahead and divide both sides by 2, which is going to give me y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2x. -7 divided by 2 is -7/2. Then I go ahead and write this with my function notation. I want to remember on the test to write this with the function notation, otherwise I will get marked off. So this is my final answer. Number 3 wants me to graph this function and state the transformations from the parent function. So this 1/2 out front is a vertical shrink of 1/2. That means the graph is going to be compressed and fatter. The -2 on the inside means it is going right to, because it's always opposite the sign when it's inside the parentheses. And this -4 on the outside means it's going down 4. It's always the same when it's outside the parentheses. Okay, so I am going to draw my parent function in red. So because this is cubic, this is what my parent function looks like. Then I want to go ahead and do my transformation. So I want to move right 2, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going to become wider because of the 1/2. Okay. Number 4 is asking me if this function is 1-to-1. I want to do my horizontal line test here. If I notice when I hold it up at the x-axis, it is actually touching twice. So I'm going to say no, fails the horizontal line test. Number 5 gives me a graph and it wants me to find the domain and range. Remember, domain is my x values. So this is appearing to go left and right forever. So my domain is going to be -infinity to +infinity. Remember, this direction is -infinity. This direction is +infinity. B is asking about my range. It is between here and here for my y values. So that is -1 to +1. It includes those values, so I use square brackets. Okay, this gives me another graph and it wants me to find the open intervals where it's increasing, decreasing, and constant. So open intervals means to use parentheses, and I'm always going to give my answer in terms of x. Because the increasing, decreasing, and constant is telling me what the y values are doing. So I have this piece right here that is, because of this arrow, it starts at -infinity, and then it stops at the peak, which is -6 for my y value. I have another increasing spot, so I want to use this u to show that the two pieces add up. And then over here, this one starts at -1, and adds at 0. Again, I'm only looking at my x values. Next, I'm going to go do my decreasing. Oh, and I want to highlight what is increasing. So decreasing is going down for my slope. So from here to here, that is starting at -6 and ending at -4. Again, I want to use parentheses because it told me to use open intervals. And then finally, I have my constant. So these are flat lines. So I have this piece right here and this piece right here. So my first piece starts at -4, ends at -1. My second piece starts at 0 and goes right forever. So it goes to infinity. Okay, my final question gives me 3 functions and then asks me to do 5 different things. The first one is to add f and g. So I want to add these 2 functions together. I'm adding 2x minus 5 and 5x plus 3. Here I just want to combine like terms. So I want to keep the function name on the left side, and then on the right side I'm combining like terms. I have 2x plus 5x, which gives me 7x. -5 plus 3 gives me -2. On B, I'm subtracting g from h. So h is going to stay the same, and then g is going to be written behind a negative sign. So my h is 2x squared minus 6, and then I'm subtracting my g of x, which is the 5x plus 3. I want to go ahead and distribute that negative sign. So that's going to give me -5x. And I want to be careful, I saw this on the quiz, to remember to distribute to my second negative number. It gives me -3, or my second number to make it negative. Then I'm going to have h minus g of x equals 2x squared minus 5x, because there's nothing to combine there. And then I have -6 plus -3, which gives me -9. C is multiplying f and g. So I am going to take 2x minus 5 and multiply that by 5x plus 3. I can either use the box method here, or I want to remember to distribute. So when I am distributing, I take my 2 outside pieces and I multiply those together. That is going to give me 10x squared. I also want to remember to write my function operation off to the left. Then the next thing I'm going to do is the 2 outside pieces. So I have 2x times 3, which gets me 6x. Then I want to do my 2 inside pieces. That gives me -25x. And then finally, I'm going to do the 2 end pieces of each set of parentheses, which gives me -15. Then I just want to go ahead and combine like terms, which gets me 10x squared. 6 minus 25 gets me -19x minus the 15 at the end. D is dividing my g function by my f function. So this is going to give me 5x plus 3 over 2x minus 5. There is nothing I can do to simplify these, but because I have written a fraction, I need to write my domain restriction. So remember, for fractions, I take the denominator and set it not equal to 0, and then solve for x. So I want to add 5 to both sides. I get 2x can't equal 5. Divide by 2. X can't equal 5/2. So this is all part of my answer. Okay. For my final one, it has h of f of x. This means plug f into x for the h equation. So I'm going to have, instead of x's, I'm going to be plugging in the function for f of x. So my f of x was 2x minus 5. And that gets plugged in instead of the x for my x in my h of x function. So I've replaced this x with that 2x minus 5. Then I just need to go ahead and simplify. So I'm going to have h of f of x. That 2 is still going to be on the outside. I am squaring 2x minus 5. So remember, that means I have 2 of these written out. So I'm going to have 2x times 2x, which gets me 4x squared. 2x times negative 5 gets me negative 10x. Negative 5 times 2x gets me negative 10x. Negative 5 times negative 5 gets me positive 25. So if I simplify this, I have 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. So then I'm going to replace that on my inside. And then I still have this minus 6 at the end. So I want to go ahead and distribute that 2. That is going to give me 8x squared minus 40x plus 20, or not 20, 50. And I still have that minus 6 at the end. So then I finally want to go ahead and combine those like terms. I have h of f of x, which gives me 8x squared minus 40x plus 44. So this is my final answer here.